Alright guys, welcome back. I want to welcome any new subscribers to the channel. Thank you. I'm preparing for another art festival or show this weekend, the 25th of June, and I'll give an update on where I'm going to be. And my wife's going to be there, of course, selling her soap. So I'll do a channel update of exactly where we're going to be. It's going to be in Philadelphia, just so you guys know. But today, we're going to do a project I started doing recently, and that is coffee scoopers. And I was inspired by a local artist that I met. Her medium is clay, and she makes a variety of things. All of them are really cool. I was able to do she wanted to do an artist swap, and so she took one of my spoons, and I took an ice cream mug that she made, and it's really, really cool. So one of the items that she had for sale were what she was calling coffee scoopers, and they were made in her own style, and that's cool. So it kind of inspired me to make my own version of a coffee scooper. And basically how I interpret this is you're basically making a mini kuksa. And I'll show some examples of what I've made a couple. Actually, before the other one is upstairs. So here's the first one. I'm just going to do these really quick. I don't want to go crazy. These aren't done. I still have to sand them and everything. So there's like a side profile. They're really cool. They're just like mini kuksas, basically. Here's another one I did. Just different handles. Give it a little bit of character. I probably can't see. I put a spine here. Yeah, you can see it. The little circle with a spine all the way to the top. This one's a little different. It's just a more traditional scooper. These are all birch. Left the bark there just for detail. I'm going to sand this one and we'll get it. So these are just, examples of if you're getting into selling your craft. These are smaller items or smaller ticket items, I guess, that I'm interested in and other people are very interested in from what I can see. And instead of somebody, if they don't want to pay, a pretty high amount of money for a spoon or say a kuksa, they can still walk away with something that is hand carved by me, they can use it. So without further ado, we're going to start this coffee scoop, and this is American Sycamore, and we're going to just get started real quick, and I'll go back and forth, and I'll show you guys some of the shave horse work and all that. So I've been pretty busy, kind of, just trying to get my stuff together for the festival, and it's a lot of work, and I don't really think I ever have enough stuff. I really don't. Tomorrow I have to make another cooking spoon, so that'll be fun. I'm not going to have any kuksas available. Just didn't have time to do it. Just want to chop some of this bark off here. And this piece is fairly green, so this is a little easier to work with for me. Earlier I was doing a lot of birch, and it's not hard at all, but it's dry, and it was a little annoying. So if I make this pretty thin, it should dry pretty quickly. Let me just look at it here. Yep, I'm just looking at it. Get this knot off here if I can. And this is actually a good little project, so I wanted to share it with you guys to kind of, I guess, if you will, hone your skills in kuksa making, really. Essentially, again, you're just making a mini kuksa. This can kind of be like an art study where you are just kind of trying to play with handle shapes and different designs underneath. And then, then you still have a functional item that you can, give to someone or use personally or sell. And that would be a coffee scoop. So it is good practice. So it's something to keep in mind. It's good to play around with the shapes, I guess. And there's a lot of waste with these, from what I find, because you have to hold it against your chest and carve. So you don't want to cut it off here, and then you don't have much to work with. So this might be waste. Maybe you can find another use for it, but it's whatever. Just so you guys know, if you try to make these or intend to make these, give yourself a bunch of room. All right, so I think this is where I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to switch over to the shave horse and just remove a lot of this material, and I'll take you guys over there in 1 second, all right? Be right back. Oops, be right back, guys. All right, we're back. And something I actually forgot, what I was doing to speed things up is I would actually make my design on several pieces of wood. And then I would go in, make sure you guys can see. And I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but made my design on several pieces, and then come in with the spoon knife and scoop out the bowls on all of them, and then go in and start carving. So kind of forgot to do that, but I'm going to do that now. And we're going to use the shave horse and the Twicka. This is the 50 millimeter. This is the smaller one. Nick Westerman Twicka. So just going to start in the center here, very carefully. This side does not want to hold these pieces in place. There we go. And on this other video I did of the handling the Twicka, I like these long handles because you can really just get a lot of leverage on it. And that's something I saw on YouTube. I saw some people that had these really long handles, and I thought it looked a little ridiculous, but as you start to use it, then you realize how helpful that actually is. And remember, just like I said before, guys, this is every time I do something, make something new, and every time I'm using these tools, it's such a great learning experience, and I'm learning every time I use these tools, every time I pick them up. Understanding the wood that you're working with, how much pressure you can put on it before it breaks. I've learned that enough with spalted birch that, and greenwood acts a little differently, and that's just kind of good to, good to know and good to learn, I guess. I've seen people kind of twist this thing. They just kind of go around in a circle. Of course, I'm probably not doing it right, but so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scoop out this bowl, and I'll be back when there's more done. All right? Be right back, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. So this is the progress we made, and I feel like I did pretty well on the bowl. It's pretty deep. Should turn out nice when it's dry. I think it looks pretty even. I think there's a couple spots. I just looked at it in the flashlight here. Let's see. No, I think it's pretty good. It's very easy to mess with this too much and mess it up. Alright, so I guess now I'm just gonna, I was earlier using just simply the axe to remove the material. The shave horse tends to make things more flat, and unless you're trying to make a flat scoop, not sure that's really the best thing. So I'm just going to remove a little bit of this material on the shave horse, And then I'll go over to using the axe a little bit, or the knife. Just don't want to go too far. I think we're actually pretty deep. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty good. So suppose we could start carving with the knife. So let me pause it. I didn't do much there, but let me pause it and switch over to the seat. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. It's a mess in here, man. Another thing I was going to mention was that this is a really good project if you want to practice working on your bowls. If you want to practice making them very clean and refined. I found that this is actually a pretty good project to do that. So it's helpful practice as you carve into more things, or carve more things, cuxas and bowls and spoons. It's helpful, I guess. So. Just want to kind of chop away a little bit here. Don't want to go too crazy with the axe. Alright, so let me pause it here. I want to adjust the camera, and we'll do a little bit of carving with the knife. Alright, be right back, guys. Alright, we're back. And, oh man. I'm getting tired. I don't know how much you'll be able to see. Let me just put this here. Put it down a little bit. Down a little bit more. Okay. Alright. I think you guys can see. So now we're just going to follow the design just like anything else. But just wanted to show you guys this little fun project. And, it's fun to experiment with the handles. See where you want to go with the handle. I guess my thought on it is, I don't know that the handle needs to be so structurally sound, whereas if you're doing like an eating spoon or some kind of other larger spoon, cooking spoon, you might want to pay more attention to how the handle is shaped, because I think that affects the strength of it. So these little things, I don't know that it really matters, because I don't know what else you could use these for other than like a coffee or iced tea scoop or something like that. I mean, you're not really going to be abusing these things, at least I hope not. So, this is a fun way to experiment with shapes of handles and different things, I'm going to try to get this thing fairly thin if I can. So that's all we're going to do, guys. So I'm going to pause it, and when I come back, the whole thing's going to be done, because I don't know how much space is left on my phone here. So we're just going to continue following this. It's a little tedious because it's a small project, and the more little turns you do in a handle, it just takes a lot longer. You could just go, plain Jane and have a straight handle and be done in, an hour. I don't know, maybe. So, the more little turns and dips you put in the project, it just takes longer. So, let me be right back, and I'll show you guys the finished product. All right, be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So here's pretty much the finished product. This is something to play around with. You could do different things underneath here. This, there isn't much to it, but it does take a little bit. So you just have to keep in mind what it's going to be used for, which is a little, again, coffee scooper. So adding that little, for me, I guess, the indent there, your thumb can kind of fit there. So I have pretty big hands. They're not fat, but long, I guess, and wide, or I guess. So if somebody has small hands, I know that this will feel just as comfortable. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, thanks.